Hey guys, Matt at Triple Locked Adventures. Today we're going to do a long-term review of the Overland Pros Wraptor 6K 270 degree awning. I've had it on for about 3 years and I've been traveling with it through camping, overlanding, a bunch of travel, and I felt like it was time that we do a long-term review. All right guys, I'm going to start by setting up the awning, showing you how quick it is to set up, and then we'll talk about some of the features and pros, cons, things I've learned over using it, all that kind of stuff. So let's get started by setting it up. It's a pretty quick process. I typically start by grabbing the straps out of the back, and you guys will kind of see why here in a second. So let's start doing that. So I typically keep my straps in the back here, drawer system. I have them set aside just because they're easier to grab, but we'll set those aside and you'll see why we'll need those here in a minute. The awning is a freestanding awning, so it opens up and can be freestanding, and today's actually a good example because it is actually pretty windy today. So you just unzip this, fold back your cover. There are 3 straps that hold this whole system in. You just fold out the awning arms, and this is where those straps come into play. So this is why I always have the straps kind of ready, especially if it's a little bit windy, because you can grab your straps, attach them right to the awning, and then this side I'm going to go around the back and attach it on the other side. I just attach it to the rack. I'll show you guys this once I take the camera off the tripod. So this one, there's a little loop at the top. Just grab this, pull it all the way around the back of the vehicle, attach it on the other side of the vehicle here, and pull the strap tight. You'll see some guidelines hanging down and stuff. I set those up if it's raining. What it'll do is it'll push the water off the sides here so it doesn't pool, and also obviously holds it down for the wind too, which we won't need in this scenario. It's not that windy today, but nice system to have. So in the front, there's also a little strap, and then I actually just attach this to my A or B bumper. There's a little, I guess on the front hoop section, there's a nice little spot to pull this up against. And that's it, guys. Super quick. You have full 270 degree protection all the way around the vehicle. It's a really nice setup. I love it. The coverage area on this thing is absolutely enormous, as you see. It comes all the way down the whole side of the vehicle, literally all the way up to the front bumper. So this entire side of the vehicle is protected, all the way around the back, past the side door as well. And there's actually a little flat back here that you can tie up. And when it rains, the water will kind of go away from where you're working back here, which is super nice too. I don't have a strap for that. There are ladybugs galore here. I should mention it has been raining here nonstop for days. It's been super cloudy, just terrible. So I beelined over to our local park. It might get loud here with people and stuff because it's like the nicest day we've had in weeks. So try to get this video done for you. Yeah guys, so you may have noticed it has amazing coverage. One of the downsides to that is this awning is heavy. I forget, I want to say it's 72 or 76 pounds. So it is a very heavy awning, but it is very easy to set up. I love that it as freestanding setup. In the instructions, they say it's only for setup and take down. You should always use the legs. I have used this in winds, I would say somewhere maybe to like 15, maybe 20 mile an hour winds without any issues at all. So I think it's fine being freestanding. With that said, there are legs. There are 1, 2, 3 legs that are deployable. They're integrated right in, so you just undo the Velcro, you unscrew the leg, and then it comes down and you can prop them down. We're not gonna need them today, but you can put those down and then obviously guy line it down, and it really, really gives you an extra layer of protection for the wind. I have actually had this deployed. I got trapped in a storm at the Mainline Overland Festival in PA. There was a tail end of, there's actually a tornado warning in the area. And I want to say there was 30, maybe 35, 40 mile an hour gusts. I had it all guy lined down and it was moving, but it was fine. Nothing happened, nothing ripped out. So that's been phenomenal. Really my favorite thing about this has been the coverage area and the ease of setup and ease of pack down. And I'll show you guys pack down at the end. It's just a very quick to deploy, huge coverage area awning. Downside, of course, is the weight. Let's talk about some of the cons, I guess, of this. Obviously the weight I mentioned. One thing that I have not been super happy with is that this fabric seems to discolor. And I will be fully honest, I don't think this is really Overland Pros' fault of fabric choice. I think this more comes down to the fact that in the type of travel we do, that overland expedition style travel, we drive, you know, anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, set up a camp real quick at night, camp for the night, pack up and back on the road. And a lot of times that means that the awning is wet, even if it's just dew, or it poured all night and you know you're cooking in the morning, so you want coverage while you're cooking breakfast, and you got to pack it away wet. So again, I don't really think that's their fault, but you guys probably can't see from there. I'll probably take that off of the tripod and kind of walk you guys around. There's some discoloration in this fabric. I have cleaned it with the 303 protectant. Well, there's a cleaner and a protectant, and it didn't really come out. A lot of dirt did come out, but it didn't really come out. It's a cosmetic thing. It beads water like crazy. It works great. So the fabric is great. It just has discolored a little bit. Some people, I don't actually have this complaint, but some people have complained about it being like gray. It doesn't block this, like it's not dark. It is sun blocking UV protectant, I guess you want to say, but it isn't dark. Some people, the overland community is obsessed with like these dark blackout things. I don't get it. Personally, I love the sun, and even with my rooftop tent, it's actually one of the things I don't like about my rooftop tent, and I'll talk about that in that video. I actually like to wake up with the sunrise and go to sleep with the sunset, so I don't like blackout, but that is something people have talked about. Again, I don't really get it. What else? Few things on this awning that are optional. You can do walls all around this. Pretty big wind gust right there, guys, so it's a good example. You can do walls that Velcro right in. You don't have to use zippers or anything. They Velcro all the way around this. I've never really seen the use for them. I could see if you were in a winter scenario, winter camping, or maybe you were doing like base camping for like a whole weekend or something like that, 3-4 days. I could see where that would be beneficial to have this like all closed in like a miniature tent. To be honest though, you're not really closed in, like the side is gonna be open. You know, it's like, it'd be cool though. I could see where it'd be useful. The reason I never got them, one, they're kind of pricey, and two, they come in this massive bag. The whole point in having an awning that's like mounted to the vehicle is so that you're not carrying like some massive deployable hub tent thing. You know, it's like, it's the whole point. And that is worth noting. That's where I started. I started with like, well, back when I was a kid, we used to just use a tarp, you know? And then kind of when I started camping with the wife, we got one of those little pop-up tents, you know, with the screen and stuff like that you use for camping. Thing weighs a metric ton, and it took up so much space in the truck. It was just cumbersome. It's a pain to set up. You know, it was just a pain. And having this right on the vehicle has been amazing. What else should I note on this? It does include 3 like 1/2-inch steel, maybe they're 3/8. It's probably 3/8, but it could be 1/2-inch steel. Brackets, universal brackets. They did work with my Prinsu Designs rack, but there's probably like a better way to do it. I pretty much, because of the Prinsu design, of the rack, there's a space between the bar and the side rail. So I had to use like washers and kind of space it up and then mount it on there. It works, it's held great. It's been on here for, like I said, like 3 years. I've hit trees with this awning. You know, it's been great. So that's actually worth noting too. The cover is really resilient. I have dragged so many branches. I've leaned against trees, not hard, not like dragged it across the tree, but like bumped trees when wheeling, 0 issues. It's been great. I can't remember what kind of fabric this is. It's super thick though. It beads water like crazy. What else, guys? Oh, water. One thing I have noticed with this, and the fabric is kind of stretched out over time, and I've let it sit in the sun and it's supposed to like kind of come back. Hasn't. The water will kind of bead up in these center panel areas. So it's really important to guy line this down, and you guys can probably see it creates that like, and the water will just go straight down. It'll actually follow the guy line down. Other than that, this thing has been absolutely killer. It's been a game changer for our overland travels, setting up quick, getting out of the sun, even mountain biking. I've set this up, set down camp chairs, you know, just pop a camp chair underneath this. You can eat, you know, it's just great. It really is. The sun, the rain, the protection. I haven't camped in the snow with it. I'd be a little nervous about the weight of the snow. But yeah, it's been great, guys. So I think that really wraps up kind of the review of this. Let's get it packed back up. It's a little bit more difficult to pack in, but I'll show you guys how I do that. I always start with the front, then go to the back. I kind of do so I start with the rear and then do the front. And then when I pack up, I do the opposite. So let me show you guys that. So in the front, you just undo the strap. You just usually have to loosen it a little bit. Take down the strap. It'll kind of fold itself in. And then in the back here, same. When you put this together, you do need to do the front section first, and that's kind of why I do that. If you leave the guy lines on like I do, you do need to kind of tuck them up in there. You can always tuck them up later when you're doing the actual pack in, but I find it's a little easier if you do it now. A lot of people will just leave the guy lines off, which is fine too. And just pop them up there. And you just fold this all up. You fold in the fronts first, fold in the backs, and then the key, guys, is you want to make sure you pull these straps out before you kind of get it too closed in. The top of these straps have a tendency to fall behind the awning, and then it will hamper you from being able to put it back together. Next thing you want to do is just kind of make sure this isn't all bunched up. And then you fold it. Let's get some of these ladybugs out of here. You just fold it up like triangles. So just, and like that. I always do the center first. I find it helps kind of just hold it all together. Back is easy to do while you're here. And then the front next. Oop. As long as you don't drop it. I will tell you, this truck is 8 feet off the ground. My overall height, well, with the rooftop tent, so this thing's probably 7 feet off the ground. My wife cannot get this at all. She's 5 foot cute. That's probably due to the height of this vehicle, but she cannot get up there. So that is worth noting. And then just zipper this back up. You might notice this wiring. I'll show you guys that in another video. I just literally yesterday, right before it rained, installed lights on the awning. So just fold this all up and zip it. I will tell you guys, I mentioned the material had stretched on this. When I first got it, it was a lot easier to close up. Now that the awning has been used for 3 years, the material has stretched a little bit and it makes it a little tougher. Same thing goes for when the awning is wet. That's true with anything. You try to pack up a tent, you can ground tent, and a lot of us started ground tenting. Try to pack up a ground tent and get it in its preformed bag when it's wet. It's a disaster. But that's it, guys. I mean, it deploys super quick. It goes back together super quick. I have nothing but good things to say about that. What awning are you guys running? Send me in the comments. Tell me, what awning are you running, or are you looking at purchasing an awning, and which one are you looking at purchasing? I'd love to see your guys' feedback. Like I always say on all my videos, I am a new channel. If you guys could like, subscribe, share this video, comment, would love your guys' support. I think we're over 50 subscribers now. That blows my mind. I'm super happy. You guys are awesome. Stay adventurous. Love you. Peace.